Hey my friends, it is going to get a little bit boring hearing from just me about the Heart of the Home campaign, so I've created this range of videos where you get to hear from other people who are on the ground, especially the missionaries who go out and serve each week at the orphanage where I'm trying to raise money for this campaign. If you don't know anything about the campaign, you can visit here and see this original video, but in it, it's where I say that I put my money where my mouth is, where I will match dollar for dollar, pound for pound, euro for euro, your donation. But there's more information here because there are some limitations. So thanks very much for watching. In today's video, we're going to meet a good friend of mine, Luke McGowan. We studied together at theological college, but he didn't finish his degree. He heard the call to go out and serve, and he's been there for about a year in Chennai serving. He goes out each week to the orphanage, but in this particular video, he talks about why you could probably think about supporting this campaign. Secondly, about Charis and Tenny, who run the Charis Foundation, and a little boy called Arun, who really touched my heart. Luke, it's on my heart at the moment to help. Right behind us is the building that I'm looking to help with the folks out there. Yeah. I'm doing the pound for pound match or the dollar for dollar match. We want to raise about £8,000. Yeah. But it's so, like in this day and age, there are so many charities, so many things to give to, and how people are going to say, well, why this foundation? Why the Charis Foundation? Why Silas and Tenny? How can we trust them? I trust you, you're my bro, and you're out here every week, helping out with the kids. Are these people trustworthy? Is it what is it about Silas and Tenny, that you would say to others, encourage them? Because I know that people would want to hear that their money, is going to be well spent.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very common thing in the UK and just around the world to see on TV, people asking for money, to see it on websites, to see it all around the place. People ask for your money for, for clean water, for loads of different things out there. But when you come out here and see it for real, you get the real story. Now for this particular orphanage, the Charis Foundation, I have had the pleasure of getting to journey with a guy called Pastor Silas who runs this whole thing. And this guy's faith is unbelievable. He was in... is it Australia or America?
Well, he was in America last, but
he was in America, but he was studying abroad with Hillsong, and he was pursuing a life there where he could have had a life like any of us would abroad, and he felt compelled by God to go back to Chennai, his hometown, and start an orphanage here. And he found a wife here, and the money that they had to get a house, they took that to buy a plot of land to start. This is where I'm stood right now. It's on this plot of land that married couple invested, and it's a case of they just found 2 children when they first got here, and they kept them here in Chennai, and then they just started discipling those children, and it literally grew and grew and grew, and they just have such a massive heart, Pastor Silas and Tenny, that they will just take on all the children that need the support, that haven't got families, got nowhere else to go. They take them on. They go out into the streets and feed hundreds of children every day, and here at the orphanage they house over 40 children and are giving them an education, and they allow us to be able to input into them as well. But the faith journey that they've had to go on, this isn't a man-made thing. None of this is built. None of this is happening because of Pastor Silas has got some sort of technique of getting money. It's purely a case of this guy will buy without the money, and it's from our point of view, foolishness, absolute foolishness, and it's insane unless there is actually a God behind this which is supporting it, and that is very much the case. I have not seen faith like this in anybody in my life. It's like Pastor Cyrus walked straight out the Bible and is walking here today, and it's such an honor to be able to be here and to see any of that and be able to see a man like that. Such an inspirational guy.
So, I know Pastor Silas and Tenny don't have salubrious accommodations,
no, they
but
don't.
Everything that they get comes pouring into this place. They don't, he rides just a beat up old motorbike. Yep. He just wears normal clothes. Yep. He's got one phone that he uses for people to communicate with him. What do they do on the streets during the day? Because I know that they do other things on the street. What does the Charis Foundation do?
So one of the things they managed to finance over their time through God's amazing gifting to them was a bus. And so what they then do with this bus is they in a sense pile on as many people as they can with gear and food, and they will then drive all this stuff out to where they know there's villages where children are hungry and have not got food, and they will literally then stop off in villages and feed people. They'll go down to the beach and feed people there. That was something I was able to get involved with at first, but then that was something that they thought we wouldn't be better off there. We'd be better off serving here. So I haven't actually seen that firsthand, but it's very much happening.
And they educate as well, don't they, on the bus?
They teach English and maths and...
So English and maths, and I've heard that this year that 29 children have been taken from off the streets into a government school.
29, yeah.
29, because of the education they've received, because of the feeding, and just because of the love and support they give them.
Yep.
Why don't you tell us about Arun, because that really touches my heart. The little boy he's only got one leg, and what's his story?
Basically, his family couldn't keep this lad called Arun, and so they left him on a train track to die. And when he was left there at the train track, sure enough, a train did come by, and the kid lost his leg. He's a very young lad, and
he's very able, isn't he?
He's very able. Like, he doesn't let him stop him at all. He's like, if there's a table, the kids with 2 legs are not jumping off the table. Arun is jumping off the table. He doesn't let it hold him back at all. He's got, in a sense, a very hard life, but he's got, in a sense, a very go-getter attitude, and he's learning to live with it already at such a young age.
That's great, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.